Hey friends, it's Coop from Garage Gym Reviews, and today I'm reviewing my personal favorite rep bench now has an upgrade. This is the Rep AB-5200 2.0. Honestly, I reviewed the original AB-5200. It's been some years. It feels like just yesterday. When you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Fortunately, I work every day. But I still love it. Since I've reviewed that one, many benches have come out, both from Rep. You got the AB-4100 as well as the Blackwing. You also have the Rogue Adjustable Bench 3.0 as well as their Man Array, and many other companies that are coming out with benches that compare. So is the AB-5200 just kind of like an older design that they put a facelift on and it doesn't really compete anymore? Or is it still, in Coop's opinion, one of the kings of benches? You have to stick around and find out. Okay, so let's get right into the review. First off, as you can see, this is a stand-up bench. In reality, the AB-5200 has always been a stand-up bench, the original one as well as this one, but the AB-5200 original was one of the first benches that was made for home gyms. Before that, it was the Sornex MP3 that was multi-$1,000, so it's very expensive. This one, they've taken that same feature and added a plastic liner to the bottom so it stands up. Now for assembly, when Rep sent this for a review, they sent it in 3 separate boxes. They sent both the pads, the feet, then the frame. We assembled it and it was ready to go. One thing you'll notice is the color combination. Now, if you like this color combo, this is now the official Coop. No, just kidding. But if you like this color combo or like to purchase this bench based on this review, you can check out the link below the like button. Rep will pay us commission, but it won't increase the cost you pay. But this is gonna be an honest review. As you'll see on their site though, this bench is designed to be uber customizable, meaning everything from the colors. Honestly, I can't think of many other benches that aren't custom, that you can choose multiple color options. So, I mean, 2 different. So these ladders right here are actually a separate option, and there's 6 different color combinations that you can choose between them. I'll talk more about those later. One thing I will say though, this red is actually pink. Okay, but let's get into kind of how it's improved over the original. Number 1, this is a ladder style bench. Rep has multiple ladder style benches, their AB-4100, this one, as well as their Blackwing, and some of their other benches like the 3100 as well. The ladder system has kind of become the standard for many benches. The old standard was the pop pin. The reason this is nice is you can do this with one hand. So when you're able to go, when you're ready to use it, you just pull up and it locks in. When you want to bring it down, you pull it out, you pull this out, and then it goes down. The back pad on this has 10 different back positions. So you're gonna be able to hit every angle that you'd like, from 0 degrees up to 85 degrees. The seat pad has 4 adjustments, and it's using the same ladder system. One thing that's different about this versus the Blackwing is this one actually has a ladder system that's on the outside versus the inside of the rails. Which one is better? I don't know. I will say I like the fit and finish of the ladder system on the Blackwing better than this one, but it's a minor detail, and this is also very stable, just not quite as stable as the Blackwing, but I will say that's like semantics because when you're using it, it feels very stable. One thing though that is most unique about this bench that is honestly different from just about every other bench out there, including the original AB-5200, is this is a true, legit decline bench. This is a full FID bench. So let me show you. That's this right here. So you have the ladder system on the back that has 10 different positions, 4 on the seat pad, but then this guy, this is also adjustable, which means you can adjust the angle of the back pad from 0 degrees or parallel to the floor all the way down to 8 degrees, a -8 degrees, and in multiple increments. So it goes from 0 to -4 to -6, and then -8 all the way at the bottom, which makes it a real, that could have hurt. Just check my fingers, make sure they're all there. A true FID bench, which I think it's important because a lot of people love doing decline movements, but many of the benches on the market that are specific for home gym owners and are utility type adjustable benches, the only way that you can do them is attaching leg holders on the end, which this one does not have. So if you're looking for a true FID bench, this one is actually that. But it can also be extremely stable in the flat pad position like this. And that's one of the benefits of this bench is this is really like a do-it-all single bench situation. So if you're a home gym owner and you're like, I don't want to have two different benches, which makes complete sense. You want to have one bench that does both adjustable and flat well. This does that. Part of that is because of the length. This back pad is long enough that when you're on it and using it and benching on it, you don't have to worry about the pad gap, even though it's only 1.36 inches, which, by the way, is one of the closest pad gaps. It's actually not as close as the adjustable bench 3.0 from Rogue, but it is very tight. But honestly, it doesn't really even matter that much because this back pad is long enough, you don't have to worry about it. Because this is so customizable, this back pad can also be had in a thinner standard 12-inch pad or this wide guy, which is a 14-inch pad. So if you're somebody that likes a wide flat bench like I do, like I use my Rogue Thompson Fat Pad, the Monster Bench, it's wide. This one can be wide as well and can be used for incline if you so choose. Now, one thing about a flat bench that really matters is the stability of the bench. If you're using a bench for flat bench as well, you want it to be very stable, which that often comes through the weight of the bench. This one is 115 pounds. There are much heavier benches that are out there. There's also much lighter benches. I think a bench that is able to do both adjustable and flat, it kind of matters how heavy it is. Now, one of the things we've been testing is what I'm gonna start calling roll weight. I originally called it felt weight, but I think roll weight works better. This is basically how heavy it is at the handle. So even though this is 115 pounds, it really only matters how heavy it is when you're lifting it up to move it. And the heaviest part is when it's about 3 inches or so off the ground. So about 54 pounds. That's what you are when you're lifting it off the ground. That's really the number that matters the most. There are other benches that may be similar in weight, but may be heavier up front. An example of this is actually their counterpart to this, the Rep Blackwing. The Rep Blackwing is 131 pounds, but because it has the zero gap system at the front, it's 64 pounds. So although this is a somewhat heavy bench at 115 pounds, it's not so heavy when you're moving it around. Now, one thing that they also updated on this, and they're basically doing to all of their benches and all their vinyl, is they're now using their clean grip vinyl. This is, I won't say this is the best vinyl in the world. My favorite vinyl outside of this is actually the Rogue Thompson Fat Pad, or what's used on the Man Ray, but both those benches comparatively are much more expensive. Outside of those, this is probably the best. Outside of maybe like a Naga hide, really expensive leather like Sornex uses, this one is very good. It's much better than their previous version. It's much grippier. It's also thicker. It's just like, it is very nice. And they're not just doing the top. Because this is an adjustable bench and you're gonna see the back, they actually put vinyl on the back too. This is something more and more home gym companies have started to implement, but I just feel like it's really well done and also not seen very much. But I think it just adds to a better fit and finish for the bench. And lastly is just the details. As you can see, this thing, Rep has continued. They're already, I consider them the king of benches. One, because of volume, but two, because of quality too. They just have so many benches. But instead of just resting on their laurels and being like, yeah, we have the best bench, they keep coming out with new iterations. So although this isn't that much different from the original version, they've added different things that make it better functionally, things like the back post, but also add things like details that I think really matter and show Rep is growing, but also show that they're listening to customers without like charging a whole lot more for it. So examples, one, this front handle is now a knurled stainless steel handle. Instead of any badges, they used to do the stainless steel badges, which were okay, but they were just okay. They now laser coat everything. So the Mountain logos on the front are laser cut, the logos on the side are laser cut with stainless steel backers. These are laser cut right here. One thing that I thought would be cool is if they put the same stainless steel that makes it pop right here along this rail too, something small, but I think it would look cool too. Also, knurled handles right here for adjusting the back ladder system, a knurled handle on the back that you can also twist when you're adjusting the back pad. Just details, details, details. Now the question really is, how does it compare to the competitors? So I think there's two benches you should consider when you're looking at this one. You're either thinking, should I go with the Rep Blackwing or should I go with the adjustable bench 3.0? There's other benches too, like the AB-5200 or a little bit cheaper benches or more expensive at like the Rogue Man Ray levels. But I really think that the adjustable bench 3.0 from Rogue and also internally the Rep Blackwing are the ones you should look at. This is what I would say. This is $550. not for the adjustable back post. It's $580 with the adjustable back post. So you have to pay a little bit more to have the adjustable back post. If you're gonna have this, you might as well spend a little bit more money to have a post that you can then use for decline. The Rogue Adjustable Bench 3.0, which is the one that I think it could be compared to, is a little bit more expensive. It is made in the USA and is very good quality, but there's a couple things, points that I'd make on it. One is it can't do a decline. So if you want a decline, you shouldn't even consider that one because it doesn't have the option for a leg roller either. If you want a bench with a leg roller from Rogue, you're gonna have to spend quite a bit more money, something like their AB3 or their Man Array. So if you want decline, like this is really the option. This one is also cheaper, and I think although it's not quite the quality of powder coat and some of that stuff, it's like very close. And I actually like the vinyl on this better than Rogue's standard vinyl and their foam and their textured foam pad. Then you compare it internally to the Blackwing. Personally, if I was gonna get one, the Blackwing or this one, I would get this one. The reason being, I don't like the extra functionality. Like I just don't want to deal with the adjustment on the front for the zero gap. This is a thin enough gap for me. If you really care about the gap so much that you need the adjustment, go with that one. But I don't want the extra weight of it or the extra movement of it. This one is enough. Also, I don't really care about the leg rollers on top. That's not something I use a lot. So for me, from rep, it's really between the AB-5100 and this one. If you want to spend a little bit more and get better features, I'd go with this one. Or if you're just fine with the standard features, a lighter weight, go with the AB-4100. But within those options, and I'm not comparing to the Ironmaster bench, but it's so light, it's just a different bench. If you want a bench you're gonna use for powerlifting type movements, want something that's gonna last a long time, stand up and be really strong, I really like this one. Now, one thing on the customization side, this has 6 different colors that you can customize. Everything from whites, greens, reds, blues. It matches the powder coat they're using on the racks, which is pretty cool. This one is the red with the black rails. It's actually a metallic black. I think it looks pretty cool. I like the metallic black. If you don't already have a rep rack, just be careful because their red is gonna be different from say Rogue's red or Sorenix's red, so it may look a little bit off. You may just wanna go with the standard color, but I love the ability to customize these. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, that's the review. What do you think of the new 2.0 AB-5200? Do you think it's better than the previous version or better than the other options out there like the Rep Adjustable Bench 3.0 and other competitors? Or would you get this one versus the Blackwing? Because I think many of you are thinking that, which by the way, the Blackwing at 600 bucks is only 30 bucks more. And I was thinking about this, why is it only 30 bucks more? It feels like it should be a lot more expensive because they have so much more going on up front and it's a very heavy bench. I was kind of surprised that this one would be 580 bucks. But let me know in the comments. This is Coop from Garage Room Reviews. I'll see you next time. Peace.